What is going on, folks? This is Kung Fu Gamer here with another episode 3, and it is officially Tuesday, November 28th of 2017. How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody's doing well. Here we are, heading towards the future, and just took a shit. and today I was just gonna just like generally like just like discuss some stuff, like some stuff that I think is righteous, some stuff I think it's relevant. So I know everybody's out there trying to shave off their turkey meat and all the cranberry sauce that they took in over the holiday weekend. Probably some leftovers as well, getting stuffed up the stuffing. And I just wanted to point everybody, if you want to get into some really legit like workout and self preservation and stuff like that, like look into martial arts. Like for me as a practitioner of martial arts, I'm totally not subjective of any martial arts. Like I think any martial arts is good, even if it's just boxing. Like anything that's gonna help you better yourself, anything that's gonna help you become a better person mentally and physically, I condone it. Just do it. Like all martial arts is applaudable. Like even if it's just the women's class at the YMCA, the women's karate class, like do it. It's fun. I've met a lot of people doing martial arts. My my martial arts brothers and sisters. Shout out to my brother Mike. I haven't talked to in a while. My brother Miko of Thai Mantis. My Sifu Don Newton of Sifu of Don. Yeah, sorry about that. Sifu Don of Thai Mantis. And all my sisters, Tiffany, Stephanie, I miss you guys. Hit me up if you guys want to like come on the podcast and like say some stuff. If you guys just want to like sit there and play video games, by all means, shoot through to my place over here on the north end. And just I met a lot of like really just good, like level-headed people there. And on top of that, my Sifu introduced me to a lot of people that I look up to as a martial artist, going to like certain events and stuff like that. Like basically, if I didn't do it, I would have got the opportunities to meet some of the people I got to meet, which is great. It's martial arts is more than just kicks, punches, and rolling and locks and stuff like that. It's something that could help you with your everyday life. It's something that could relate to you as more than just an individual. It's something that could broaden your mind onto different opportunities. Like you could totally take your martial arts to a whole different level. You could just be a Sifu. You could just be a philosopher of martial arts. Write a book. You could do a lot of traveling. You could do a lot of things with like production and film and stuff like that. There's just so much to take in, and just a lot more to anything you do. There's a lot more to it. There's you want to do something that's not gonna just be that one thing. Like any art you get into, you kind of want to like expand and not get stuck in one spectrum of thinking, or one spectrum of prosperity. So with that being said, yeah, if you're looking for a good workout, look into your local Sansu Kung Fu, your adrenaline MMA, your just anything that's gonna help you be a better person. Like if you're into like CrossFit and like shit like that, like by all means do it. Like I'm not gonna knock you for doing that, or just getting up and just going to the gym. Like by all means do that. Some other stuff with martial arts is that you have to be really disciplined to take in such art. It teaches you discipline, and allows you to kind of like to like grow as a person. You get to learn a lot about yourself, how much you could take. Like you think you're tough, like do the training and see how tough you really are, and really take that into consideration. Then you'll realize like, oh shit, like I'm not like it looked easy in theory, but it is really really hard. Um, Another thing is don't get caught up in stupid shit like oh like this type of martial arts is the best. Like anybody who fucking sits there and says one martial art is better than the other, or one martial art is totally fucking lame, and they try to like be subjective and biased towards them. They don't. They're either A, they don't really practice, or B, they don't understand the importance of all martial arts. Because even if I'm into Tai Chi, Mantis style, Kung Fu, um, general kickboxing, I still want to master, prolong, and the only way I could prolong and master anything is if I take in other parts of other chapters and other applications of martial arts. Like you can't just be like set in one thing. That could go into anything. That could go into producing music. That could go into uh, developing new sounds for your music. That could go into like art forms such as drawing. You don't want to, you like. I know like a lot of people who draw. They have their signature style, but at the same time, a lot of their inspirations come from looking at other artists. And sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes a lot of people, they're like, nah, like I don't want to like look at other artists, because you start to like do things like compare your art to that person's art. Just like sometimes, like I'm like, damn, like I really want to get into something crazy like that, like doing flips and all that. And that's a whole different art form. And I feel you start to feel like your style isn't like good enough or whatever. But what it is not even that. Like everybody has their own style, everybody has their own art, but you also want to be on the outside looking in to pull in more ideas for yourself. And keeping it's good to stick with one art at a time, like keeping it like as far as martial arts, like keeping it pure. like like if you're going to get into an art form, if it's Wing Chun, Sansu, Shaolin, um, the five animals, anything, Hungar, anything, any type of application, anything has to do with any type of martial arts. If you're gonna try to learn one, stick with that one. Stick with that one form, and then master it and go on to the other one. That's what Bruce Lee did. He kind of took it in, and he took in an art form at a time and developed his own style. So you're looking at several different styles, and you're going to come across this plateau of significance. And when you reach that plateau of significance, you automatically stand out, because you took these different things that already existed, and you just folded them into your own style. And it could go into even with comedy. Like I'm thinking about later on getting into things like stand up. Like I want to try it. I feel like that's something I could do. Like it feels like something that you know I could probably prosper from. You never know unless you try it. You never know. And I have a decent sense of humor. My sense of humor isn't everybody's sense of humor. It's pretty. It could be dark. I got a lot of influences from Doug Stanhope, Ari Spears, Patrice O'Neal, um, Bill Burr, one of my favorites, and all the greats from Def Jam coming up, just being raised off of Comic View and Def Jam. It's just something that I kind of like want to do. And so with that being said, I have all these influences, all these styles of comedy that I'm into, like skit comedy, like what's those guys' names? Like Whitest Kids You Know, Trevor Moore, Andrew, all those guys. The Monty Python, I'm into that. Um, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, creators of South Park, as you guys see me playing right now. Those guys had a decent hand in my inspirations for comedy and stuff like that. And I feel like with that type of foundation and that type of that type of comedy that I study, I could either fucking bomb or be really good. Beat the kitty. Beat the kitty. Shit cracks me up every time I see it. So there's a battle on pharmaceutical drugs now. Like people are actually standing up and trying to separate these entities from the natural cause, the marijuana cause, which I do condone. Marijuana and acid is fucking great. The or DMT. DMT is fucking awesome too. The big pharma is starting to really try to like push out this. Well, not this, but push out their movement. They're really trying to like get people hooked onto these drugs. Like recently, my girlfriend, not recently, but my girlfriend, she had I think she had a, what happened? It was a, excuse me, my phone is ringing. But they had recently, she had recently went and I forgot what it was. I think she had hit her leg, and she had her I think it was her kneecap that was swollen. It just the fluid kind of like built up on her tendons, and it ached really bad. And for that, all you need is an anti-inflammatory, um, which is an ibuprofen or aspirin and shit like that. But the thing is, they gave her a prescription for fuck, what's that prescription called? It's that shit that gets you really high. Like it's a prescription drug that gets you really fucking high. God damn it. Texting and calling. No one important. But it's, what is it called? Is it Norcos? Those is this like it's a what type of drug is it? It's a fuck, I can't even think about it. Let me look it up real quick. Basically, it's Norcos. I just know that those pills will fuck you up, and they're highly addictive. It treats pain, and it's in the same class as a Vicodin, Oxycontins, and shit like that. And it's just like, all right, like all she needed was a anti-inflammatory. Like they already gave her the 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. So, what was the whole point of the Norcos? there was no point. The ibuprofen, what it does for, or for anybody, it um kind of like gets the fluids off the nerve, and it works as a pain reliever as well. So getting somebody coked up on Norcals and Viking and shit is fucking pointless. And I it's a trip. It's a This is just me. Like, I'm not speaking for anybody, but this is just me. Like, like I like to be high as well, and I feel like with that being said, there's too much weed in the world, too much marijuana in the world to want to get high off of something that you could potentially kill yourself off of. Like if you gave me the choice between like wanting to get high off of pills and getting high off of a fucking plant, I'll take my even if like something that's not marijuana. Like, you told me, like, if I smoke this, I'll fucking like be butt naked in the middle of the street thinking I'm on Mars doing a music video with Michael Jackson. If you tell me some shit like that, I'll take my chances with that fucking plant before I take this pill. Only because pills, they have they get broken down differently. They they go into your liver. It sits on your liver for a long time. They established that. Like, I remember them talking about that when I was in the 5th grade. Like pills. Like, you like, I remember a time where you weren't even allowed to well, still not. You're not even allowed to put prescription pills down the toilet because it could get filtered to the water system, I guess. That's what I think it was. I don't know. I don't know the actual lore behind that rule. It was just something that they just threw out there and said that you can't do it. But yeah, like, if anything, like, don't do prescription. Like, even like cough syrup. Cough syrup is bad for you. Cough syrup makes your fucking heart grow, and it could cause your blood to coagulate like gelatin and cause like problems for you when you get older. Just if you're gonna do anything, just smoke some weed or do some acid. I don't know. Do some LSD. Do some DMT. Do some acid. Just don't kill yourself. Like people. Like, I remember, like, back in middle school, people just started like doing like how do you say? Like, people started, like, the pill thing started coming out. And people were like, fuck that, like, I'm not a crackhead, like, that's crackhead shit and blah blah blah. And then now that's like the fucking standard drug. Like, that's like everybody's like thing now. And it's like come on, dog, you're better than that. You're so much better than that. And it's just like, now, like, people are just like into, like, basically people are going against their own interests. I remember, like, back in the day, there was a lot of things that people weren't into that they're into now. Like, I remember back in the day where the black dudes in middle school used to, like, go after the skaters for wearing, like, skinny jeans and shit. They used to call them, like, fags and shit. Good times in middle school, great times. They used to call them, like, fags and shit for wearing skinny jeans. Oh, you're wearing your sister's jeans and blah blah blah. That's what the skaters and punks wore back then. And going into like 2010, 2013, niggas was wearing skinny jeans. I was just like, what the fuck happened? I caught myself. I wore skinny jeans one time. Would never fucking do it again. I don't know what I was going through or what I was trying to prove. But never again. Went through that phase. Not looking back. But yeah, it was just like a lot of things that people were diming on, or that people were just like kind of like getting into. It was just like like look how far we've come. Like, the things that we shunned and dismantled at a period of time becomes cooler later on in the future. I've been doing good with trying to keep consistent with my belief systems, trying to. That's why you shouldn't fully, like, for anybody out there. That's why you shouldn't just dig into something and go on a tangent, especially if you're going to do it on social media. Don't go on a tangent about a certain subject because you look like a fucking idiot when you went on this rant about the certain thing and now you're into that certain thing. At least if you did it on the outside, you could kind of like deny it that it ever happened in the first place. But you know that's the difference between speaking shit out into real life and social media. At least like I said, you could like deny it in social media. Social media is so fucking cool. Like as everybody can see, I have recently reopened my Facebook in order to try to expand. Facebook is so fucking cold. It could be something that you try to forget about, like, or something that you forgot about that you posted a long ass time ago, and you're not even thinking about it. You're just like, it's just like whatever. It's behind you, right? And then your fucking Facebook is, hey, remember when you said this dumb shit? You're just like, oh shit. It pops up on your timeline as like some fucking like distant memory that you had before. Or some shit that you said before, and you thinking like, oh, it's behind me, but no, fucking Facebook reminds you of some shit that you said. Fucking Facebook. But yeah, like just get into stick with drugs. Stick with what makes you happy. Like if you like a particular drug, do it. Like I don't think anybody should tell you what you could do or what you can't do or what you shouldn't do with your own body. Like if it's like I said, if you're going to do something and it doesn't hinder the rest of the world or the people around you, by all means you should be able to do it, especially if it makes you happy. Like when I was practicing, the one thing I noticed with marijuana when I was really into studying martial arts, like I would never like that's what I mean. Like I wouldn't be belligerent about it and show it to my kung fu class with my fucking eyes red as hell, or my or my eyes red as hell and just being high and fucking stupid in the middle of class. That's embarrassing. And my Sifu would have guests come over, or there's kids there. Like it's all about it's all about just like thinking. Like think about what you're like. There's a time and a place for everything. Like even if like somebody doesn't agree with the whole weed smoking thing, like I respect that, and I talking about it is one thing, but I wouldn't do it in front of my my younger peers. Like I wouldn't do it in front of like my nephews or nieces or little cousins and shit like that, only because like I don't want to be that influence. I don't want to be, the reason why they got into some shit like that. Or like if they're like everybody eventually in life finds drugs on their own. Like they're gonna like you can't keep anybody away from anything. Like they all find it out on their own, right? Fact. They find it out on their own, but I just don't want to be the one to help the process of them finding out. Like I would love for them just to, find it on their own, like I did. Like everybody, like nobody has a has a perfect record for anything. So I'm just being honest with myself. Like yeah, like when I used to practice, I would fucking like smoke weed and really get into my meditation and really get into my stretching at my house. I wouldn't bring it to the school. That was something I did on my own, and it just felt better. I feel like I could function 10% better doing martial arts and stretching and shit because of the mindset it puts me in, for one. The marijuana just really like you could feel like the stretches. Like maybe it's the high or whatever you want to say it is. Like maybe it's that, but it worked. It helped me out. The only sad thing about it is that people are going into these prescription pills, and all this other shit because it's the fact that those things like marijuana is hard to come up with game plans as far as getting jobs and shit because it's one of the things that are frowned upon in the workforce, and it's totally understandable. That's why you have to establish yourself. That's why I'm trying to do something for myself to where I become more independent and self-employed, where I can do the shit that I want to do. So like I have my maintenance mechanic experience. I'm doing that's my hustle. That's my initial hustle. That's what I do for the money grab. But that's going to hopefully change soon. Hopefully, like this, what I'm doing right now catches on. It catches people's attention. I get the support that I need to get to that level and be able to do the shit that I want, like drugs. But anyways, I feel like when even in high school, like going towards my junior senior year, when I started becoming a super duper fucking pothead, I wouldn't touch pot, cigarettes, or none of that back then, but it kind of like grew on to me going towards my junior senior year. And what was great about it was that it helped me cope with shit. Like it didn't like change the reality around me. Well, I take that back. That's exactly what it did. It just made me think differently, and it totally changed the reality around me. It told me that some of the shit that I was worried about, I didn't need to worry about. Like marijuana kind of slowed down time for me, and because if for anybody who lives in San Bernardino or any fast-paced urban city type deal, like life is moving fast, rapidly. Like everybody's in a rush to get fucking nowhere. Essentially, like everybody's like always in a rush to get someplace where they don't even need to be half the time. And with that being said, like marijuana kind of like smoking in groups, is cool, talk bullshit, but smoking marijuana and being by myself kind of let me reflect and stand back and realize that some of this shit is not even serious. Like the philosophy I came up with is with life to hurry up but take your time. Like like give everything your best shot and really put some fire under your ass to get to the point where you want to be, but at the same time take your time, like be steady about it, just learn about it, just kind of see if it's really you in the first place. And that's what marijuana helped me out with recently. I got into acid is fucking amazing. It's not what people think it is. People think when they do acid they're gonna fucking be seeing rabbits jumping out of faucets and turtles, or your turtles coming out of your fucking vagina. I don't know. People come up with the stupid shit. People who haven't done acid come up with the stupidest shit about it, and I don't get it. It's the complete opposite of that. If you've never done acid, you should, basically. It's not one of those things that is just it fucks you over. It hits you in the face right away. Like your first high is just gonna tear your fucking life apart. You're gonna get ripped into this riptide, and you're gonna be on here one minute and then gonna be on fucking Mercury the next. No, it's not one of those things. In my experience, the transition to high was calming. There was times where I peaked and I tripped the fuck out, but the descent into the high was like a plane starting to land. Like you could feel how high you are, but or how high you're getting. But there was a point where that highness landed, and it was totally working with you. It was something that that you you and the high were one. Like it didn't just fucking take you on this trip and like fuck you over. It's something that you know kind of like held your hand and walked with you with, and that's how the high was. And I had so there's I wish my bro Thomas was here to tell the story with me, but just telling you like the epiphanies like that, it just made me realize that life is what it is. Life is what it is, and it's not about the situation or the it's not about the situation or the setting. It's about you overcoming the setting and the situation. So it's never the situation, is how you go about it. And the shit that I saw on acid made me realize that, and it just totally like opened my mind. It really like if you believe in a third eye, it opens it up, and it makes you realize that the stuff that, like I said, the same thing with marijuana, like stuff you were worried about before isn't all that serious, because there's a lot more scarier things you could be into besides just the shit you're going through right now. And that was one of the things that helped me say fuck it and do the things I like. Why not? Why not got me to do acid, and why not got me to do what I'm doing right now with the podcast and gaming, and why not is the reason why I am in the first place. It's like, why fucking not? Like, do the things that make you happy. Do the things that kind of or sort of or will make you a better person. Like, do those things. Like, I condone it. That's why I say everybody should do whatever the fuck they want to make them happy. Rather, I don't want people to think like I'm just talking shit on people with kids and all that, because like I said, like that's just my perspective and the way I think about that. If having a kid, having a family is your route to happiness, by all means. When I talk, I'm just talking about things through the lens I'm peeking into. So you could consider it, or just like I said, I just do this for people to listen. But acid showed me that if you're not happy, it's not worth it. Like, if you do acid unhappy, you will have a bad trip, and it will completely ruin your high, and it wasn't worth it. And I could apply that same train of thought to life in general. If you're not happy, it's not fucking worth it. Do something that's gonna make you happy. Like, I want to get into all kinds of shit. Like, I want to get into like not voiceovers, but voice acting. Like, I want to do like cartoons and shit. So anybody out there who needs a voice actor, look me up. I want to do everything before I die, just to say I did it. Even if I do something like this and I failed, or do something with our martial arts, go all the way through with it to get my my first match going, whether I get the support or not, or whatever the fuck. I just want to do shit. It's just so I can say I did it, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy just to say that I did it, even if you don't succeed. And you're gonna have a lot of people who are going to kind of like naysay the shit you do, or suggest that it's not their idea because it's not their fucking idea. So fuck them. Like, just do you. Like, be happy, do you, consider it, take the risk, and just enjoy it. Like I always tell people, like, if you're gonna take in the reward, or if you're gonna take in the reward, take in the consequences. There's rewards and consequences behind every single thing we do, and as long as you consider that there's gonna be consequences, and there's gonna be a chance that you're gonna totally fucking fail at this, Do it. Failure is just another stepping stone to becoming a better person in life. Like, don't be scared to fuck up. Like I said, like I'm not perfect. I did acid. I fucking smoked my weed, but at the same time, I did the shit that made me happy, and I didn't burden anybody with my habits. I never gave anybody trouble while on weed. I never stole to get high. I won't have a habit unless I know for a fact I can support it. I never hurt anybody being high. I've never disappointed anybody because I didn't put it on public, or I didn't become a poster child for that type of bullshit. Like, I just didn't do it. Like, whatever I did, I did it on my own. I did it on my own time. I did it by myself, and I didn't fucking post like pictures of me smoking weed and showing everybody, oh look, I'm a pothead. Blah, blah, blah. Why do I need to do that? I could just talk about it. I could just say it. I could just say I did it. Or if you know me and you hang out with me, which a lot of people on here do, who are watching this do, and they understand, like, oh yeah, he's totally telling the fucking truth, because I am. And we all have to, y'all have to consider, other people when we're doing shit. Like, my girl, she doesn't mind doing my thing. It's just that for her, she thought it was stupid. She just thought the whole idea of doing drugs and all that shit was stupid. And I get it. I got, I caught her drift. I understood that she her point of view and where she was coming from, because she's not used to that. Me, I was always surrounded by people who did like drugs and shit, so it was something that was normal for me. But then when I got into it, it was just a whole different perspective on it, and that, what I talked about 30 seconds ago was my perspective on it. But hers was just something that she didn't understand, so I kind of had to like diplomatically break it down to her to get her to understand, like, this is something I like to do because I like to do it and I enjoy it, and it helps with boredom. I like to do the drugs because they make me happy, because they help me think more. And she has a good point. Like, maybe I don't need them to do such things, and I get it. I don't. But it's just something that my free will allows me to do, so I do it. It's my thing, and that's what I like to do. So I moderate. I moderate my usage and stuff like that for her. So I don't, I'm kind of glad I have my girls in my life. I have that type of person in my life that kind of sets me straight and doesn't allow me to do the shit I want to do in the back of my head. Because if I didn't have some type of control, or didn't have the type of the negative to my positive to cancel me out, I'd be a fucking mess. Sometimes you need that extra disembodied voice in your head to be like, maybe this isn't you, maybe this is not for you, because you, like, I try to picture shit, like, imagine like me living by myself and all the weird shit that I would do, and all the people that I would invite if I lived by myself, and just like have come over, and all the shit that we'll just like get into and dabble in. I'd be a fucking mess. Sometimes having a certain type of control, or a certain type of damn, what's that word for it? There's a word for that. A certain type of entity, that's not the word I was looking for, but just an entity that kind of like keeps you at bay. Like something that makes sure you don't act on those crazy ass fucking thoughts you were thinking about thinking. And it's good to have that. I'm glad I have that because, like I said, like I lose my fucking mind. But just like I said, do drugs. Just stay away from that pharmaceutical shit. That shit will kill you. That shit will it'll fuck your life up. Like I watch people like I said, like I don't say shit, just say this is from personal experience, this is from shit that I experienced or something that I experienced through another person or something that somebody was experiencing and I witnessed. I watch a lot of people get hooked onto these things, to these prescription drugs, and become very dependent on them. And it's a sad fucking thing where you're doing something and you lose control. You never want anything. You even if it's sex, food, or just anything. You don't want to lose that control. The whole point of dabbling and getting into things is to maintain your integrity and your virtue and stay in control of that. Because once you let it control you, you're losing. You're a fucking loser. Because now you've become from this person, this super cool person who does drugs, to this fucking fiend. And nobody wants to hang out with a fiend. Fiends are fucking. They're exiled from the world of I. Yeah, there's a difference. Like for a perfect example, there's a huge difference between a pothead and a fiend, and people don't get that. A pothead is a person who likes to get high off of strictly weed-based drugs, THC or CBC or whatever other anagrams and abbreviations for marijuana is out there. Anything that's marijuana based, you're going to enjoy because you're a fucking pothead, and that's what you like. Correct? Correct. Now, on the other hand, you have fiends. And the same definition, people who like to get high, but people who like to stay high and get high off of fucking anything. That's a fucking fiend. And that's the type of person, like, nobody really wants to, like, be around because it's, to be honest, like, hanging out with fiends is just, like, it's very shady. Like, they'll do whatever it takes to get fucking high. They want to stay high and be high. And like you could have like a pocket full of weed, and they'll tell you like, oh no, I don't fuck with weed. That's not good enough for me, and blah blah blah. They rather fucking take glue and huff it out of a sock. You're a fucking fiend, and you don't gotta smoke weed with me because I don't want to smoke weed with you. I don't even want to hang out with you in general. It's Super Craig. Fucking love this game. Wait for it. Now, I already had beat this game on Mastermind and the ultimate difficulty, playing black. I think it's hilarious. My brother was telling me because he had beat the game while white, using a white character, and he was telling me like at first the how do you say when you play as a white character you don't get attacked by the cops, but when you play as a black character the cops come after you. I endure the challenge. See, this is smart writing. I love how Trey Parker and Matt Stone write. Like it is fucking perfect. They this is shows how difficult it is being black. The blacker you are, the higher the difficulty. Fucking genius writing. A lot of people looked at it like, oh, that's fucking racist. Like, shut the fuck up. It's Matt Stone and Trey Parker. They know what they're doing. Just believe in them. They know what they're doing. They're getting their point across. Fucking lame ass Craig.
Hey there, are you one of Craig's friends? You looking for Craig?
So like I said, I reopened my Facebook, and I'm looking for guests, all my local buddies to come around, have a general discussion. If you want to talk about drugs, give us the inside scoop. I got friends who work in weed shops. I got friends who work in music. I got friends in all kinds of places. I got friends in the producing martial art industry. I got friends in all kinds of places, all shapes, sizes, color, whatever. I got plenty of friends. So with that being said, there's plenty to talk about. So if anybody out there wants to come on and give us the inside scoop, or kind of like broaden people's mind, or make people understand things better on a different scale, by all means, please come by and give us a chatteroo. We could come in, play some video games and talk. Or I could just watch you play a video game, shoot some questions at you. It won't be an interview thing. I don't want it to be an interview. I don't want it to be one sided. I want us to have a real life conversation about whatever it is you're good at, whatever it is you really know of, or we could bring up something that's like completely oblivious to our own senses, and just come up with discussion and just just talk about it. Let's just talk about it. But, this is the end of episode 3. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm not sure what the fuck you learned from this. If you learned something, cool. If you just came in and you just like to watch people play video games and talk about nonsense, cool. This is Kung Fu Gamer ending episode 3, and I'm hoping to catch you guys on the flip. See you guys on episode 4. Peace.